and this is look, I said before, the big talented man will always beat the small talented fighter. But
one of the most anticipated matchups in boxing is the potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Both world champions have expressed interest in a fight that could define their era. Crawford in particular has shown determination to move up in weight and challenge Canelo on his terms.
You know, I'll be going for Bud. You know, if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but I definitely.
Although Canelo has previously been indifferent to this possibility, stating that he would not receive credit for such a victory, he has recently shown more openness to considering serious offers. With both fighters seeking high-profile opponents and no major fights currently scheduled, the chances of this bout happening in 2025 have increased significantly. Oscar De La Hoya, despite his complicated relationship with Canelo Alvarez, has shared his thoughts on a possible showdown between the Mexican superstar and Terence Crawford.
Finally, Oscar, Terence Crawford says he wants to fight Canelo. He's changed his tune. He said he's willing to move up 3 weight divisions. To me, that's kind of crazy, but that just shows you, like, man, the dog that's in Terence Crawford. If Canelo is victorious...
De La Hoya insists that his predictions regarding any potential fight involving Canelo are unbiased. Oscar De La Hoya has a bold opinion on the potential outcome of this hypothetical matchup. The former world champion believes that Canelo, with his greater size and power, would have a clear advantage over Crawford. At 154, Crawford didn't really look too dangerous up in the ring, against a beast. So imagine Canelo being the bigger guy, being a beast. It's almost like a no contest. I mean, come on. When has a smaller good guy ever beaten a good bigger guy? It's never happened in the history of the sport. It's rare, De La Hoya told Fight Hub TV. Crawford, renowned for his technical ability and punching power, would face a significant physical challenge in taking on Canelo at his natural weight.
Canelo?
Terence Crawford will beat Canelo anytime. Anytime. Because...
While some experts believe Terence Crawford possesses the skills to compete with Canelo, the disparity in size and power could prove decisive. For now, the future of this potential fight remains uncertain. Both fighters have existing commitments, and the possibility of an agreement will hinge on several factors, including contract negotiations and strategic decisions from both teams. There aren't many fighters that have shared the ring with both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. The only man to do so inside a professional ring was Amir Khan, suffering stoppage defeats to the pair, and he's already given his thoughts on how a potential Crawford versus Canelo matchup would go.
What do I think of that fight?
Yeah.
I think that, everybody knows that Crawford got the skills. I do think that Canelo's a little big for Crawford. It'll be a tall task for him.
There are a few more that have sparred the two men though, and one of them has now given his take on how he thinks the fantasy clash could unfold. That man is middleweight contender Kyrone Davis, who even took on fellow Canelo rival David Benavidez back in November 2021. Having sparred both Bud and Canelo, Davis told Mill City Boxing that he thinks it would be extremely tough for Crawford and would back Alvarez to get the victory. Canelo is a big guy, it's going to be a lot. He can take a punch, so you're not going to hurt Canelo. I don't think Crawford can hurt him with one punch. Maybe he can cut an eye or something or bother him to the body.
It'll be a lot you have to. It'll be a lot to get that victory based on size alone. Not that size win fights, but you got a guy that got size and skill. It'll be hard. I mean.
He has to get some flesh on gloves and go to the body. It's going to be a tall task. Canelo can really fight. He has moves and traps. It's not easy. In boxing, nothing is impossible. But if I had to bet, I'd put money on Canelo. I'm not taking anything away from Crawford, but Canelo is great. Can Canelo stop him? He's a bigger guy. I think one punch can do it. David Benavidez has shared his opinion on a hypothetical Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford clash.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's the money fight, you know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo if Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you.
Bud moved up to the 154 pounds category for his last fight and beat Israel Madrimov via decision. He now holds the WBO interim super welterweight title as a result. Crawford boasts an amazing professional record of 41-0-0. Canelo, on the other hand, is one of the greatest fighters of the modern era. He beat Edgar Berlanga at super middleweight in his last fight. The Mexican icon is February 2nd, 62 as a professional. Benavidez lauded Crawford's technique, but doubts his power translates to higher weight classes. To take on Canelo, Bud would need to move up 2 more weight categories.
But it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It would be a great fight, but I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and after this fight, what else are you gonna say?
In a recent interview, Benavidez said, "To be honest with you, Crawford is one of the best technical fighters I have ever seen. When he went to 154, I'm not saying he had problems, but he looked like he didn't have the power he had at 147, and he'd still have to come up 2 or 3 weight classes. Crawford is a one-of-a-kind fighter, but weight classes must be respected. I'd give Canelo the edge." Benavidez has spent the majority of his career at 147 pounds. Hence, he has to move up significantly in weight to take on Canelo in super middleweight. Benavidez, meanwhile, has long been touted as a fighter who could trouble Canelo inside the squared circle. A dream showdown between the two Mexicans, though, hasn't materialized yet.
You know what I mean? This is a tough fight. You know, the top WBC, the top people ranked at the WBC are fighting each other. So I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, then I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, I set my conquest on 175.
The fast-handed Benavidez is set to take on David Morrell in his next fight on February 1st. The potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has captured the imagination of boxing fans worldwide. Crawford, after his dominant victory over Errol Spence Jr., has openly expressed his desire to face the Mexican super middleweight champion. Crawford, widely regarded as the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world, would be taking on a monumental challenge by moving up 2 weight classes to face Canelo. However, the road to this historic bout will be anything but easy. Demetrius Andrade, a former super middleweight world champion, weighed in on this highly anticipated matchup.
Just too much overall. Like, is that kind of the same thing with the Crawford and Canelo because of the weight classes, the weight between them?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
I love Crawford. He's a good friend. We reach out to each other. We've been traveling the world through the amateur program. He saw me beat people up. I saw him beat people up. I think the stories could go on. But when it comes to weight, empowerment, that stuff's real, Andrade said during an interview with Fight Hub TV. Andrade, who himself was once linked to a fight with Canelo, acknowledged Terence Crawford's immense talent and skill. However, he believes Canelo holds a significant advantage due to his size and experience at higher weight classes. Canelo is a big bad wolf and he can run the whole night. I think Crawford has the skills, but when it comes to Saul getting shots and blocking his power shots, Canelo knows how to move too. He has agility, not like a robot. I mean, it's gonna be tough, Andrade explained.
I love Crawford. He's a good friend. We reach out to each other. We've travel the world through the amateur program. He see me beat people up. I see him beat people up. He see me get beat up. I got beat up. We both.
I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo, but I still think he can give him a good fight. And I'll be sitting there fuming for Canelo all day, Andrade added. However, some other guys think otherwise, as they feel Crawford is just good enough to damage Canelo, regardless of the weight difference. Bivol was asked to offer his opinions on a much-discussed possible battle between extremely talented fighter Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, regarded as one of the finest in the sport today.
Crawford wanting to fight Canelo 3 divisions up. Good idea, bad idea?
I don't remember sizes of Terence Crawford.
Welterweight.
If he big, actually.
Maybe he's probably...
I remember when I came to the boxing gym, one of the first lessons I learned was, you should respect weight classes. But Terence is one of my favorite active fighters. He has good skills, very good skills. Maybe he could show us something. He already knows what to do, his coach knows. They will find a solution to how to do it, Bivol said. Directly asked whether he thought Crawford might beat Canelo, Bivol said, I can imagine it. This demonstrates how much Bivol values Crawford's abilities despite having to challenge with a naturally larger opponent. Bivol also said that Crawford's ring intelligence could provide him an advantage over Canelo. I could tell you that Crawford is one of the best fighters in the world right now. I see him with more boxing IQ.
I came to the boxing gym, one of the first lessons which I should learn, it's like you should respect weight classes. You know, yeah, what it means. But Terence Crawford now is my one of the favorite.
Hall of Famer and ESPN boxing analyst Timothy Bradley Jr. favors Terence Crawford in a matchup with Saul Canelo Alvarez. Bradley took to his YouTube channel to argue in favor of Crawford. Everyone keeps talking about the weight, Bradley said, and indeed Crawford only recently left welterweight for 154 pounds, while Alvarez has fought at 168 pounds since late 2020. Oh, he's gonna knock him out! When the hell was the last time Canelo knocked somebody out? It has been a while. Alvarez last scored a stoppage against Caleb Plant in November 2021.
I don't know, someone told me to study Canelo, study Crawford. Crawford about to beat the shit out of Canelo Alvarez. I'm letting y'all know right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez.
Since then, he has failed to knock out established foes Dmitry Bivol in a loss and a 40-year-old Gennady Golovkin. But he also has gone the distance with opponents thought to be nowhere near his skill level, such as John Ryder, Jaime Munguia, and Edgar Berlanga. Jermell Charlo, naturally a junior middleweight, also went the distance with Canelo, though he was not remotely competitive with the super middleweight king. Y'all can quit with that. He's gonna knock Crawford out. Come on, man, Bradley said. Didn't we just see somebody Alexander Usyk fight a guy Tyson Fury who was, quote unquote, 50 pounds heavier? Canelo's the same height as Crawford. He's not a natural 168 pounds. Usyk is a great fighter, absolutely. But you know who else is a great one is Crawford. The great ones know how to figure it out.
Yes, he is. Number 2, Devin Haney. You want to get back, man, go back to your roots, bro. Go back to where you started, bro.
Bradley highlighted Crawford's 74 in reach, 3.5 longer than Canelo's, and his ability to reduce opponents' output with his counterpunching. Alvarez is already a low-output fighter. Bradley thinks Crawford can win a decision by working from distance, using straight shots in between Alvarez's looping hooks and tiring Canelo out down the stretch. Don't go running away from the fight now, Canelo, Bradley said, referring to the unified super middleweight title holder's apparent avoidance of David Benavidez. Imitating Canelo's higher-pitched voice, Bradley said, "Remember what you said? Easy fight, easy fight, easy fight, easy fight." Though a cluster of analytical boxing minds share Bradley's opinion, most in the fight game believe the size and power difference is too great for Crawford to impose his skills.
Where'd you start? You started in Mexico, man. Go back, get one of those guys out of there, man. Go back, start there. That's where you start. Go back to your roots, bro. Get some of that humble pie, bro. Go back, start where you started. Start where you started at.
Bradley, known for his strong points of view, is confident in his unpopular take. "I'm gonna get back to my haterade," he announced towards the end of the video, sipping his drink. You already know. Whether the boxing world will get to know a Canelo-Crawford matchup would seem to be up to Alvarez. Crawford, who became undisputed welterweight champion in July 2023 after stopping division rival Errol Spence Jr. inside 9 rounds, made even more history for himself earlier this year when he became a 4-division champion, outpointing Israel Madrimov to capture the World Boxing Association title at 154 pounds. Mexican icon Canelo has also enjoyed his fair share of success in recent years.
Just with Canelo, obviously he had his fight with Edgar Berlanga announced recently. Not received necessarily a positive outcome and reaction he'd have liked. What did you make of the Canelo Berlanga fight?
After picking up the undisputed super middleweight title in 2021, he fell short in a challenge against the then World Boxing Association light heavyweight champion Dmitry Bivol. But the 34-year-old has since picked up 5 wins on the spin, defeating the likes of Gennady Golovkin, Jermell Charlo, and Edgar Berlanga along the way. Legendary boxing trainer turned analyst Teddy Atlas has offered his insight to Fight Hub TV into the potential mega fight between the two stars, stating that he would find it hard to go against the American southpaw. Very few people have the appetite or inclination for challenging themselves. Mr. Crawford does. I ain't never going against that guy. Father Time might catch him, but I don't know if a weight class can catch him.
Listen, I think Berlanga's a talented kid who's getting better. He's improved recently. I think he still needs more seasoning, but I see an improvement in him. He is a talent.
It's a tremendous challenge because Canelo is a tremendous fighter and bigger and stronger, and he can punch and time you. but just because you're smaller, Crawford will come up with a game plan that will make the other guy use his size. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, McIntyre gave a glowing reference to the undefeated Crawford, who is linked to facing Canelo in May or September. Crawford has all the tools to win a third-weight undisputed crown. Any hardcore boxing fans know Crawford can beat Canelo. You have to know boxing to be able to say that, Bomac told Fight Hub.
Everybody that believes in hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo, just like they knew Bud was going to beat Spence.
On Conor Benn's performance, he added, "I think he looked like trash. I didn't watch the fight. Some of the coaches were watching it as I was driving. They just said he looked like trash. I know Pete Dobson really well, and he gave him a tough fight. But I don't think much of him, Ben. I really don't know him. I hear his name." Asked about Ben saying he wants Tank Gervonta Davis next, McIntyre responded, "Why would he go down there and pick on guys at 135 and 141? Why not mess with guys at 147 and 154 and call those guys out? If you really want to fight somebody, fight the best." Airing his views on Tim Tissue versus Keith Thurman, Bomac said, "I think it's going to be a good fight. Tissue has the momentum because Keith has been out for a while."
This is real simple. It's real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say that. Hey, Terry's going to get in there and do what he needs to do. Perform.
It's going to be a tough fight to call right now, but I can see the fight going towards Tissue just because he has the momentum. Thurman has not got momentum because it is just like riding a bike, and Thurman has been at that high level for many years. McIntyre will corner for rising star Keyshawn Davis this Thursday in Las Vegas ahead of the Super Bowl on Sunday. McIntyre expects an excellent performance due to this meticulous preparation. "I want him to get hold of a few titles, win a few divisions, and let his body grow. He is only 25 years old," pointed out McIntyre, "but 7 or 8 years from now, we could call him one of the greatest to lace up the gloves." It's a process you must go through to be called that. I'm glad that he is starting that process. It's the energy level that he has. He is on the big stage, and the sparring has been good, so he is ready. Just go about training every day and work on strategy. Watch how he eats and sleeps, and keep a close eye on him from when you get up to when you go to bed. That's what my job is, he concluded. It's no secret that former two-weight undisputed champion Terence Crawford wants to throw down with former super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez. However, that fight seems nearly impossible to make, which has led to some rumors about Crawford's retirement from the sport of boxing. During Crawford's last fight against Israel Madrimov last year, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh reached out to Canelo's team to make the much-anticipated fight. However, a breakdown in communication between the parties resulted in Al-Sheikh pulling back the offer. Eddie Hearn, who spoke to Canelo about the fight offer, also doesn't see the fight happening. Hearn suggested that Canelo is looking for opponents who would stand and fight, rather than run around the ring strategically, something Crawford will have to do because of his size disadvantage. Meanwhile, Al-Sheikh has floated the idea that Bud may face off against interim World Boxing Council super welterweight champion Virgil Ortiz Jr.
When is Crawford coming back? What are the plans for him?
I think he is injured now. We are planning to have something with him. I will discuss with him maybe in January. I see him last week in Hamburg. He said he's have a little injured and he's starting.
However, Ortiz's trainer Robert Garcia revealed that as per his private conversation with Crawford, the Nebraska technician just wants Canelo or nothing at all, hinting at Crawford's potential retirement. Even Al-Sheikh seems to share that belief. He told the Stomping Ground, "I don't think Crawford will fight anyone except Canelo." Even though Al-Sheikh wanted to offer Virgil Ortiz as an opponent, he claimed, "I don't think he will take it. I think he only wants Canelo." However, the latest tweet from the undefeated two-weight undisputed champion suggests retirement might not be on his mind right now. "I have been doubted my whole career, and some still doubt me now. I love it," he wrote on X.
To rehab now and training again, and we hope to. He's one of our plan to see him fight.
Seeing this, a fan responded to Crawford, "Keep fighting 1x a year, bud. What an era." Crawford quickly cleared all the retirement rumors, writing, "The demand is high, I see." Bud might still keep fighting, and it might not be against Canelo, but that hasn't stopped people from predicting a potential outcome between them. David Benavidez, who wants his own fight against Canelo, has shared his thoughts on a potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. While acknowledging Crawford's technical brilliance, Benavidez expressed doubts about Crawford's ability to handle the challenges of higher weight classes.
And 25.
The goal obviously is a Canelo fight for him, right?
We hope he wants this fight, and why not?
You and Canelo, I know you guys are working towards trying to do a fight.
To be honest with you, Crawford is one of the best technical fighters I have ever seen, Benavidez said. When he went to 154, I'm not saying he had problems, but he looked like he didn't have the power he had at 147, and he'd still have to come up 2 or 3 weight classes. Crawford is a one-of-a-kind fighter, but weight classes must be respected. I'd give Canelo the edge. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.